Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Uvani. Tonight, at least 20 people are confirmed dead following the outbreak of meningitis in Sokoto State. Governor Okorocha calls for the release of self-styled leader of the Independent People of Biafra, Kanu, describes his actions as youthful exuberance. Ethnic groups in Shagamu area of Ogun State assure police authorities of their resolve to continue to live in peace amongst themselves. And Russia's main opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, is arrested at an anti-corruption protest he organized in the capital, Moscow. We begin tonight with news that over 20 people are said to have died following the suspected outbreak of meningitis in Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria. A reliable government source confirmed this to Channels Television today, saying the deaths occurred in 7 local government areas: Kebe, Bodinga, Raba, Wamako, Gada, Dangeshuni and Tureta. The state's government says so far it has deployed about 15 medical teams comprising over 150 medical personnel to the 23 local government areas of the state to forestall further spread. The last time there was an outbreak of this nature was in 2015, and the Federal Ministry of Health at that time said the most affected states were Sokoto and Kebbi. To eradicate polio, the Plateau State government is employing a new strategy of interstate border immunization to immunize children coming in and out of the state. So far, over 13,000 children have been immunized through the exercise.
Efforts to eradicate polio in the country appear to be yielding results with the introduction of a new strategy adopted by the Plateau State government through Interstate Border Immunization Program.
Before now, we've been doing the conventional. That is moving from house to house, moving to public places. But as it is now, Nigeria has been drawn back the hand of the clock as far as polio is concerned. And so we need to think outside the box. And that was what informed my executive secretary of the Primary Healthcare Development Board to think and say, okay, instead of just sitting down or moving from house to house, let's intercept these children at the point of entry into the state capital.
The Executive Secretary, the Plateau State Primary Healthcare Development Board, says reports of previous rounds of the immunization exercise indicate that many children moving across the state were not immunized, which invariably informs a change of approach, capturing children on transit across the state.
What we noticed was that during the last rounds, a lot of people were moving across the states without being immunized. So after we sat down, had a consultation with all the partners and all this to review what happened during one of the rounds last year, that was when we came out with this approach.
One of the parents whose child received the polio vaccine while on transit across one of the border posts is calling on parents to allow their wards to partake in the immunization program, considering the enormous benefits to the children.
Immunization is not a bad idea, because we in the North, we believe that with immunization, the child cannot give birth and so on. But I pray we, the House of Women, will be encouraged and be giving our children immunization.
The various entry points into the state capital where the officers are posted for the exercise include Bauchi Road to cater for travelers to the northeast, Zaria Kaduna entrance point for the northwest, Riyom border point for travelers coming in from the southeast, Manchok border for travelers from the Federal Capital Territory, and Shendam for travelers coming in from other parts of the state.
Away from health issues, the governor of Imo State, Okorocha, has called on the federal government to consider the release of the acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Kanu. Governor Okorocha attributes Mr. Kanu's actions to youthful exuberance and sees his continued detention as a distraction. The governor says some Southeast leaders are already coming together to make a case for his release and caution his actions afterwards.
Sometimes people do not fight because they are not given the money, but neglect and lack of communication could be a source of worry to most people. And this is why I have requested that the federal government should look into the issue of Kanu and get him released so that we do not make a hero out of him for nothing. He should be able to, we should get him and let the leaders of the Southeast talk to him to desist from such action in future, because it is an agitation not well presented. What is agitating for is the same thing others are agitating, and he left no one out, not even myself. They castigated everybody, left, right, and center. That's why I know he doesn't seem to enjoy the sympathy of most people because of the language he used. And I think he should be seen as youthful exuberant. He should be cautioned and be released for, to show everyone a sense of reconciliation, forgiveness, and oneness.
Imo State Governor Okorocha, and as part of efforts at averting ethnic clashes in communities in Ogun State, the police has engaged all ethnic groups in Shagamu communities on the need to live in peace. During a parley with members of the community, the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Lagos and Ogun State, Mr. Kayode Aderoti, called on the groups to adopt a proactive measure at resolving conflicts amongst them.
A display of culture and dance by the Hausa and Igbo communities to welcome this huge turnout of various ethnic groups at the Akarigbo Palace Town Hall in Shagamu area of Ogun State, Nigeria's southwest region. They converge here at the instance of the police to deliberate on how to chart a course in averting ethnic clashes in Remo land. The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Lagos and Ogun State, Kayode Aderoti, condemned the recent ethnic clashes in Ile-Ife. He, however, lays emphasis on the need to engage local traditional institutions in resolving conflicts.
In our crime, preventive effort is to reach out, under this, banner of community policing, to talk to the Hausas, talk to the Igbos, talk to the Yorubas, and talk to everybody, our mothers and fathers, that we are one.
The ethnic groups, in one voice, assure the police on continued peace in the community.
Are we assuring the AIG that peace is going to be sustained?
When you work with the people, you succeed. When you plan, you succeed. When you plan very well, you get what you want. Security is not the only work. It's not the job of police only. It's the job of everybody, and that is what we are doing. And we have achieved that through community policing.
I want to assure you that all the communities, the ethnic groups, have been meeting together every month. And the relationship between the inter-ethnic group with the host community are very important. And we are living in peace.
Recognizing those that have contributed to peaceful living in the traditional trade route community that also serves as a gateway to the east, north and other southern parts of the country, the host group entertained guests in this manner to wind down the event.
The Kogi State Police Command has paraded over 20 people the Commissioner of Police, Wilson Enelegu, says are mostly suspected kidnappers and robbers. The suspects who were arrested by men of the anti-robbery squad were picked from different locations in Kogi State. The Commissioner of Police believes that this is just the beginning of his war against criminals in the state.
We have 20 suspects that we are parading today. We recovered AK-47 rifles from suspected kidnappers who are already planning to go and kidnap innocent travelers. Their hideout were able to intercept them. Within that was within Kogi Central. In the Kogi East, a notorious kidnapper who had been on our wanted list was also apprehended. We again conducted a lot of proactive operations within Lokoja, Anyegba, and Okene areas. We also, through the support of the public, we've made other very significant arrests. And there are a number of suspects that we are following. We believe in the next couple of days we should have them in custody. We have planned a series of operations from now till Monday. And I hope to again invite you on Tuesday to interact with us, because we would have had the results of those operations that we've planned.
No fewer than 4,000 petty traders at the Kantin Quarry Textile Market in Kanu will become owners of stores as soon as the shopping mall under the government's expansion program is completed. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje made this disclosure while on an inspection tour of projects across the state. The governor also says a second phase of the mall is set to begin after the completion of the first.
Growing commerce, small-scale businesses, and perhaps promoting and stimulating economic growth appears topmost on the governor's mind, and so it is from one project to the other. He's not just thinking about it, he's putting actions to his thoughts. The construction of an ultra-modern training center for various skills acquisition is on the way amongst other projects. It's a sigh of relief for some petty traders who do business on small tables and within market corridors, popularly called Entebura, in Kantin Quarry Market, as Governor Ganduje has struck a public-private partnership to build malls and lock-up shops for the petty traders.
Even though we want to improve the market, but also we have to consider the small traders, the petty traders. Therefore, we undertook a census, enumeration, list one by one. All of them, they are now in computer. We don't want the small traders to be put out of job. We don't want them to suffer. Because if we do that, then we don't put politics and economic development at the same time. So that is why we are constructing 2 major blocks.
Still on projects, the governor has also inspected the clearing exercise of the proposed Kanu Economic City, the ongoing construction of Kofarua bypass, and the recently completed bypass in Sharanda area of the state.
This particular point has the most difficult go-slow point. And because of that, we decided to do 2 projects along this road, just about 1 kilometer between the other. Here, we are constructing an underpass. Already, you have seen the main road on top is being completed.
In order to ensure a timely completion of all inherited, abandoned, and initiated projects, the state government says it has set up a powerful monitoring committee comprising of senior engineers from the State Ministry of Works and Kanu Urban Planning and Development Authority.
In part 2, after the break, a look at some of the factors driving Nigeria's debt profile with our in-house data analyst, Babajide Ugusowo. Please stay with us.